So welcome. Today we're going to look at solar. I've had solar for about over 9 years on my house, and I'm going to give you some pointers on the good with it, what you can expect if you get it, costs, and what you can expect savings on your bill. And so let's start with the main panel, which is located inside my garage. And by the way, my house had it installed when I bought the house. It was built with the solar, and you'll see that there's some big advantages to doing that. So this is my unit right here. Now this unit was installed about 10 years ago. It was built with the house, and as you can see, it's a very simple unit. Very simple. You have your disconnect DC on the left, and you have your AC disconnect on the right, and then you have your power inverter here. And that is the whole system. I've got 10 panels up on the roof, comes down into here, and I don't know if you can see it real well, but then it displays for you how much power it's generating at any one moment. But that's about it. There is no Wi-Fi, there is no app that goes with this. This is just a basic unit. You can hear the fan running. When it's warm, the fan's going to run to keep it nice and cool. And what will happen is as nightfall comes and the sun goes down, the unit will slowly turn off. The fans will go off, and then of course all power generation ceases. And then at night, any power we draw will come from the grid. And during the day, like right now, this is powering my whole house. Not only that, but it's giving a lot of it right back to the grid. And I'm going to show you my utility bill for a year to show you how much I give back to the grid, which is quite substantial. The other thing you're going to notice about a solar system is they're fairly consistent. I know you can monitor them every day and look at the numbers and everything else, but I've plotted this out over a year's time, and I'm going to show you a graph. And what you're going to see on the graph is how uniform this thing is. I've plotted it over several years, but I'm just going to show you 1 year. It's about the same. I mean, unless the weather is really changing, your sunny days and stuff like that, your solar output's going to be fairly consistent. And this is really a no hassle type unit. You don't even know it's there. You don't even realize you got it until every month when you get that really low bill and you see how much you generated and how much you gave back. It's really fantastic. It's been no system issues at all for 10 years. That's just amazing. That's really amazing. And as you can see, because it was built with the house, which is what I recommend you do, there are no wires. Everything is ran very neatly from the roof panels, which I have 10 of them, down to this unit. You don't see anything. It's all up in the attic. It's run through the walls. It's very neat, very well done. The only thing that I don't have is a power wall. So again, at night, I don't have anywhere to store the additional electricity that I generate. That would have been a big, nice benefit to have, but and probably something I can add later, but my bills are so low right now. I get credit almost 1-for-1 for every bit of energy that I use that I give back. So it just wouldn't be feasible right now financially to put in a power wall and spend those thousands of dollars because I don't see it coming back. I'm going to show you how low my bill's been, and my bill has been this low for about a decade. So I haven't messed with it. If I was putting it in today, putting it in new, I probably would no doubt get a power wall to go with it, so I wouldn't have to rely on the grid hardly at all, especially at night, and generate as much power of my own as I can. But I live in Northern California here where there's a lot of sunshine, and having solar just makes a lot of sense out here. It just makes a really lot of good sense and saves a lot of money. So that's my unit, my low-tech, good working unit that's I hardly know it's there, and like I said, it does a great job at generating the solar. Okay, as far as the cost goes, cost is all over the place if you look it up on the internet. There's wide range. It depends on the size, how many panels you need, the location where you're at, the panel types, the labor rates, that kind of thing. I'm going to say from what I've looked at, you're looking at least $25,000 to put them on a house. And that's kind of where we were at when we were looking at new homes here in California. They started around $25,000 to $30,000 for the solar panels. So, plan accordingly. but that's what it looks like it's going to be. Now mine have been up for 10 years. They've never been cleaned. I've had people call me and want to come clean them. I've never cleaned them. And as you're going to see on a graph I'm going to show you, they still produce the same amount of electricity that they had almost 10 years ago. And they've never been cleaned. They just get cleaned with the rain, you know, as it rains in the wintertime here. So I've had no issues with that. And again, the panels are working very well in generating good electricity. So as you can see, this is a graph that I did in 2014, and it's amazing how accurate it still is today. So as you can see, this graph shows from October through September. My best months are May is the top month, and then it slowly starts going down from there. And then of course, October through about December is when it bottoms, and then it starts going back up again. And as you can see on the left-hand side there on the bottom, the total kilowatts generated is almost 4,000 kilowatt hours in a typical year. So that's been very consistent. In fact, just looking at my last bill, I have almost the same amount of power generation this month that I did in 2014. So like I said, these systems are very consistent. Whatever the weather is what they're going to generate. And it's nothing that you do. They're up on the roof, they're gathering the sun, and unless the climate really, really changes, you're going to generate consistent power from month to month and year to year. So here's a copy of my bill, just to show you how these work. You're going to see the meter summary is really key here. This is the total kilowatts that I get from SMUD, which is my electric company. The total kilowatts I give back to SMUD, which is 321, and the total kilowatts I generated. So as you see for this month, I actually had a credit of almost 100 kilowatts, which they credit back to my bill. And then it results in the system almost paying for itself. So these are the key numbers up here. But this was another good month where I generated more than I used. And actually, my 2350 is a consistent bill I have every month. And you know, that includes the summer when we have really hot summers here. The air is running all the time. It's amazing how much electricity the system generates. And the main charge actually is right down here. The system infrastructure charge is a 2350. Most of my other charges are almost negligible, and I don't even have a power wall. So this is great. My system works really great, but this is going to change in California because as of 2022, they're going to change the reimbursement rate. I get reimbursed 1-for-1 on power, but now they're going to change it where on reimbursement rates, they're only going to give you 7.4 cents per kilowatt hour. So that's a significant change, and that's going to result in less 1-for-1 for the homeowner. And what that tells me is that it's going to be more beneficial to have your own power wall. And instead of giving power back to them where they're only going to give you 7.4 cents, it's going to be better to have your own power wall, keep as much power as you generate, and try not to rely on the companies at all, because my 1-for-1 right now is going to go away in 2030 if I continue to own this house, and then I'm only going to get the 7.4 cents, and I guarantee you my bill's going to go up because of that. Okay, so I hope you've seen from this is a boring system, like I said, but it works very well. It saves me a lot of money, and you really don't notice it from day to day. It just does its thing and it works. So my recommendation is, if you can get solar, look into it. It really is going to save you money. And if you can do the power wall, do the power wall. Store your own energy as much as you can. I plan to do that in the future. If I ever move to another house, I think it's going to be well worth it. And solar is a great thing, and I'm more than sold on it. I've had it for over a decade, and I couldn't be more supportive of it. So I hope this video helped you, and if you're going to make a decision on solar, thanks for being with us today. Subscribe if you like this video, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care.